common thing between Sol, ADA, and DOT isn't just the fact that they have 3 letters in their ticker symbol. It's actually that they're all competing with Ethereum to provide the best ecosystem with scalable smart contracts in order to implement NFTs and even DeFi applications. Now, which one is the best out of the bunch, and what can you do, and how can you position yourself in the best one? Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is LHM and welcome to the channel. Now, we can't deny the fact that Ethereum is the OG of smart contracts. Like, without them, there would probably not be any smart contracts. And you would bet that there's going to come a competitor to one of the best cryptocurrencies on the planet, Ethereum. Here comes ADA, Sol, DOT, and many more. But today we're just going to focus on these 3 specifically because they're the leaders in that space alongside Ethereum. Now, if you take a look, Ethereum is the 2nd largest cryptocurrency. Cardano is the 3rd one. Solana is the 7th, and Polkadot is just behind it at the 8th biggest cryptocurrency. Now, they've been performing well in the past. Mainly Solana has been killing it so far, but Solana has seen a very big downtrend, and we're going to talk about that as well. So let's start by taking a look at Solana and take a look at the price action. So we saw a huge run up just from 25th of August. That's 3 weeks ago. We went up 200%. And if you want to even zoom further back from the bottom, which is in May, we went up. The all-time high was 1,000%, which is insane. Imagine making 11x on your return because you bought Solana when it was that cheap. Now, definitely not everyone can do these gains. We would probably sell earlier, or you would take some profits along the way, but it's definitely something to aim for, right? And if you take a look at DOT is also not too bad, but it's definitely not performing as well as Solana has. And Cardano also killed it earlier, but again, nothing compared to what Solana did. Now, should you buy Solana? Should you buy Cardano? Should you buy Polkadot? I'm going to show you a very simple way you can take a look at it and maybe make a decision on what you want to do. Now, there's a chart that I like. It's called ADA USDT divided by Sol USD. If you're new to the channel, you probably don't know that I use a lot of ratios in my analysis. And if you're not new here, well, you already know that. Well, basically it divides the price of Cardano by the price of Solana in this case. So this would be 0.017. Now, what this shows is that either Cardano is cheap compared to Solana, or it's underperforming against Solana, or we can also say that Solana is performing way better than Cardano, or you can say that they're both going down and one of them is going down at a quicker rate. In this case, it would be Cardano. But clearly, they were both going up, but Solana went up extremely, extremely well. So for that reason, Cardano is weak compared to Solana, at least for now. Now, the other one is DOT, which is also weak compared to Solana. It's DOT against Solana as well. And then Cardano versus DOT, we see this one, that Cardano went up a lot compared to DOT. It outperformed DOT, but right now, and then DOT performed better than it for a while. And right now we're at this support range right there. And seems like we're holding so far. Now, here's how you can make a decision. Let's say you're deciding whether you want to invest in Cardano or DOT, right? You open up the chart of Cardano divided by DOT. What you can do is, if you're using TradingView, you just type in ADA USDT, then you put // and then put DOT USDT, and you get this chart right there. This shows that Cardano was performing very well against against DOT, Polkadot, and it went all the way up there. So this is an all-time high, which shows that maybe you want to take profits because it's performing way better than DOT. Now, definitely, this should not be your end-all, be-all conclusion. This should be a factor that goes into it. This is the weekly chart. So this was 1, 2, 3. 3 weeks ago, we were up there. Let's say I wanted to buy 3 weeks ago, Cardano or DOT, right? I take a look at the chart and I see, okay, well, Cardano has been performing really well and it's kind of expensive compared to DOT. Maybe I want to buy some DOT. That's the thought process behind this. And maybe you want to buy Cardano in this case because we saw a big downtrend of about 40%, and usually I like to buy between the 40 to 60% discount ranges. Now, disclaimer, I am invested in Cardano and Ethereum. I don't have any Solana and I don't have any DOT, just so you know, just to get this out of the way. And if you take a look, let's say you want to decide between DOT and Solana, look how much DOT is underperforming against Solana. It's crazy because Solana was killing it and Polkadot wasn't really killing it as much or at all. For that reason, I don't think I would buy Solana right now because, well, unless, listen, so if you believe in the project long term and that's what you want, you prefer Solana and you prefer the team over Cardano or Polkadot, by all means, go ahead. But this is just if you like all three of them, for example, and you're having trouble deciding what you want and which one is better to join right now. And keep in mind that right now we can see Solana go up back to all-time highs and all the way to $50 to $250. Even we have a full article about this talking about the fact that and analysts are saying that it's going to go to $50, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. But for now, this is how you decide what you want. And then if you take a look at Cardano versus Solana, same thing. I am a big believer in Cardano, and I think right now it's very cheap compared to Solana. So right now, if I had money, I would put it into Cardano instead of Solana. Definitely not financial advice. Definitely believe in all of them. But personally, I prefer Cardano in this case right now because it's cheap compared to Solana, and I always buy discounts, as you guys may or may not know. Now, another thing you can take a look at is the Cardano versus Ethereum, for example. Since they're all competing with Ethereum, they're obviously competing with one another, but they're also competing with the GOAT, which is Ethereum. So if you take a look at Cardano versus Ethereum, right now we're at a good discount range. We went all the way up to here. We didn't quite get to the all-time high, but we went up there and then we corrected. And right now we're back at this support range right here. So this is a buy for me in this case. For example, if you want to compare DOT versus Ethereum, you can also take a look at this. Maybe you want to buy Ethereum, but then you decide, okay, DOT is still cheap. Now, even though DOT is probably not cheap compared to Cardano, it's probably cheap compared to Ethereum. So you might want to consider doing that. So I just want to help you with this mindset of compare two assets to each other. Do you think it's underperforming compared to it? Do you think it's outperforming it? And do you think right now liquidity might shift into this or the other? So that decision is for you guys to make. And one last one is Sol, Bitcoin versus Ethereum. So right now I would definitely buy Ethereum instead of Solana, because take a look how much Solana outperformed Ethereum. Like it destroyed it literally. So right now I would probably buy Ethereum, but later on, let's say this one, not saying it will, but let's say this one moves down back to this support right here, or this resistance level, which is now a support. If it goes down, then here would be a great buy for Solana instead of Ethereum. Not saying it will go down there. It might get supported up here and keep going up. Who knows? But it's just something to watch for. And one last metric I want you guys to look at is, and I got this from the channel Data Dash. It's a great thing that I never thought of, to be honest. So this one is how much dominance Cardano plus Solana plus DOT show you. In order to get this, you type in ADA.D, which is the dominance or the market, the dominance of Cardano in the whole crypto market, plus Sol.D plus DOT.D. And you get this one right there. And this shows that right now, these three cryptos have a share of 7% of the whole market, which is crazy because just 5 weeks ago, in 9th of August, we were at 4.3%. Right now, we're all the way up. The all-time high was 8.37%. Right now, we're at 7.08%. And in the beginning of the year, guys, just in January, you were at 1.74%. So you see where the money in crypto is going mainly. Obviously, because of all the NFT hype and the DeFi and all that stuff. But these assets in particular are performing very, very well. Now, one last thing I want to talk about is the reason why Solana dropped. I don't like to say that this is the reason why Solana's price dropped like this, although it's definitely a catalyst in this case. Sorry, I meant to type in Solana. And take a look at what happened. So we went up 1,000%, as we said earlier, and it was in a very short period of time. And then we corrected all the way down there. So when you see 1,000% of upside price action, 31% correction isn't bad. It's recommended, actually. The price needs to stabilize. It can't keep going up and up and up forever, right? But a catalyst that happened is that the Solana network was down after the network was overflooded with 400,000 transactions per second, which is crazy. Now, Lark Davis, he's famous on YouTube and on Twitter in the crypto space, he says Solana goes offline for a few hours, and that's all. Remember, in the same day. This happened on September 14th. That's 3 days ago. Solana goes offline for a few hours. Arbitrum goes down for almost an hour, and Ethereum got attacked, but obviously Ethereum security is insane, so nothing happened. It can tell you one thing, that Ethereum is so established, even though the gains you might see in Ethereum are not as big as newer or smaller assets such as Polkadot or Solana or even Cardano, because Cardano is smaller. But sometimes the OG is always going to be the OG. Doesn't mean that the other ones are going to fail. It just means that it's the safest for now. But everything comes at a price, definitely, because you see all the transactions with Ethereum. It's been extremely expensive. Yesterday, I tried buying an NFT and it costed $1,000 just in gas fees. I obviously didn't go ahead. I just waited for the gas fees to settle down and then I bought. But $1,000 for one transaction is crazy and it's definitely unsustainable. But all this is going to be solved hopefully with Ethereum 2.0. But we still have people saying that Solana is going to go up to $250 based on this bullish flag. And now let me tell you my opinion on this. So what's a bullish pennant? I'll explain it to you very quickly. So bullish pennant is that after we see price go up and up and up like this, and then we see the price go down, it does something like a flag. If you take a look, this one somewhat looks like a flag, right? And then what happens is the price of the coin or the asset goes up with the same height. So after it breaks out, it goes up with the same height. So in this case, if we take the length, hold on, let me draw it properly. So let me put this down there. Okay, well, this is somewhat accurate. So from the beginning of the uptrend, I would say it's down there, and that would be the height. And then this would go up all the way to roughly $254. Now, this could be definitely doable, but at the same time, this percentage gain from here to $250 would be 80% right now because we saw this huge run up. And now, what if you have Cardano instead, and Cardano might go all the way to $10 in this cycle, right? And if you see Cardano go to $10, that would be, I would say, a 300% increase. What would you want to put your money in? Not saying Solana is going to top out at $250, definitely not. But in this case, taking a look at the chart of Cardano, I know that Cardano right now is at a very strong support because this is a huge resistance. So I would buy this. But Solana, I'm not sure where it's going to stop going down. Eventually, it's going to stop. It's going to bounce back up, right? But right now, the closest support we have is this one down here at $45. Now, if you really like Solana and you want to buy, maybe you can just dollar cost average. Let's say you want to buy every Monday, buy tomorrow or on Monday, no matter what. You can buy it when it's there. If it keeps dropping, you can buy it here. If it keeps dropping, buy it down there. At the end of the day, ideally, you want to buy discounts and not buy those run-ups. And definitely don't buy into FOMO. Because let's say you saw Solana at $185 and you were like, oh, wow, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to miss out. Now you're down 25%, which sucks. I really don't wish it upon anyone, but it's just the case. Always going to be positioned in the proper assets, as always, guys. Always buy discounts. For example, this is a okay discount, but I would probably wait for it to go down there. Or if you don't want to wait because you just don't want to miss out, like personally, I'm fine with waiting for this to go down here till about $100 or even further down, which is probably unlikely for it to go down here, but definitely possible. I would probably prefer buying this at $100. And if it doesn't go to $100, I would definitely be more okay with missing out on this, but having my money in something that's a bit more guaranteed, such as the Cardano chart that we talked about, because this one is a bit more predictable in this case, if you will. So that's it, guys. That's what I think. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you have any questions, let me know in the Discord. Also, guys, if you want to get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,800, you can check the link for Webull in the description. You just have to deposit $100 and you might get 2 stocks worth $1,800. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.